Hello everyone, my name is Jaime and I am doing my company research project on Johnson & Johnson. A little history about the company and one of the founding members, who is Robert Wood Johnson. He was born on February 20th, 1854. He was born into a pretty big family. He gained an interest in healthcare in 1861 during the American Civil War. During that time, his mother got him an apprenticeship at their family's pharmacy, Wood and Titmeyer. There he learned mixing medicated plasters, which are adhesive bandages or medical dressings. He then left the family pharmacy to move to New York City to begin working for a drug wholesaler. While in New York City, he had a circle of people around him who were also interested in the healthcare industry. And it was there he met George Seabury. And at 20 years old, him and George went into business together and they created the company called Seabury and Johnson. George and Robert would stay into business until about 1885. Then in 1886, Robert went into business with his two brothers, James and Edward, creating Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson calls their vision or their mission statement or their values as their credo. And at Johnson & Johnson, they believe good health is the foundation of vibrant lives, thriving communities, and forward progress. Their values include expanding access to health care, advanced public health, diversity, equality, and inclusion, and all while supporting environmental health. Johnson & Johnson is a large company, both in the U.S. and abroad. So with such a large company as Johnson & Johnson, they have to have a strong, big leadership team. And here are the main leadership team at Johnson & Johnson. You have Joaquin Duato, who is the Chief Executive Officer. Vanessa Broadhurst, she is the Executive Vice President and Global Corporate Affairs. Peter Fasolo, who is the Executive Vice President and Chief Human Resources Officer. Now, all three of them are the Executive Committee and Board of Directors of Johnson & Johnson. I wanted to go more in depth about Johnson & Johnson's CEO, Joaquin. He is the 8th person to serve as CEO since the company became a public traded company. Now, he started with Johnson & Johnson in 1989. The cool thing about him, though, is he started in one of their global companies in Spain. He then, in 2002, moved with his wife and 2 children to the United States, where he continued working for Johnson & Johnson. He was appointed to CEO in August of 2021, and it became effective January of this year. I wanted to share the 5 top shareholders of Johnson & Johnson. So I'll start with the highest stakeholder, who is Alex Grosky. He is the previous CEO of Johnson & Johnson. And he is as I said, the highest shareholder with approximately 3.2 million shares. And then you have Joaquin, who is the current CEO. He is the second largest shareholder of the company with 1 million shares. Then you have Paulus Stoffels, who he was the former chief scientific officer, and he has approximately 872,000 shares of the company. Jennifer Torbert is one of the current executive vice presidents, and she has 454,000 shares. Joseph Wolk, he is the current chief financial officer, and he is the 5th largest individual with a total of just a little over 100,000 shares. Johnson & Johnson, I believe, have a great marketing strategy. They market to everyone at every stage of life. They use the 4 P's of marketing, which are product, price, place, and promotion. So for products, they offer a wide range of products, and they categorize them mainly into 3 parts, which are consumer products, pharmaceuticals, and equipment and or medical devices. Then for their price, they keep a well-planted price policy, which essentially means they keep their prices in the consumer price index range. And the consumer price index range is used in the US, and it's considered the price of a product which is affordable to the consumer. Next, we have place, and you can go just about anywhere and get some type of product from Johnson & Johnson. They have a wide distribution network, and because of that, their products are available worldwide. Now let's talk about their promotion, which a lot of people think is like their advertising. And they do that through a lot of different ways. They use magazines, newspapers, commercials, social media. They have ties with celebrities and athletes who promote their products. Johnson & Johnson's corporate social responsibility, and actually their social initiatives and their philanthropy, all ties in with their credo. They want to improve the communities where we work and live, and they do so that by providing medicines, vaccines, and treatments, devices to everyone, no matter where they are. They empower local nonprofit organizations through contributions, outreach, support for vision, healthcare access. Something that I think is really cool is just the STEM education and healthy communities. Some of Johnson & Johnson's corporate social initiatives is to empower their employees and advance environmental health. They understand that to empower their employees, they need to have diversity and equality, which they do have in their company. And in advancing in the environmental health, they believe that the health of our environment is directly linked to our own personal health. So they try to create a healthy environment, which includes improving the environmental footprint of their operations, their products, and their extended supply chain. So as I said prior, Johnson & Johnson's corporate social responsibility, social initiatives, and philanthropy all really tie in closely together. For their philanthropy, one thing that they have is the Global Community Impact, which is funded by the Johnson & Johnson Foundation. So at the Global Community Impact, they support the people on the front line, and they do so by giving them the skills and resources and support they need to improve the quality of care and strengthen the healthcare system. They also give back to communities, and they do other things around the world when times and needs. More recently, during the pandemic, we all had heard about them for their vaccine. So anytime there's a crisis, they always jump in. Another thing they have is Talent for Good, and they believe their employees are key to effectiveness in advancing in healthcare. They offer a range of opportunities for their employees to gain skills and also allow them to make a difference in the community by doing certain things. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time, and I hope that you learned something about Johnson & Johnson.